Hey guys, how's it going? Onage here, and welcome to another iRacing race. And we are again going to race around the Autodromo José Carlos Pace. I pronounced it wrong, I know, but it doesn't matter, in the GT3 Challenge Series then. So the warm-up is already done. We are going to line up in the grid in a little second. 40 seconds left for the start of this race. So I've done already a race before, which I have uploaded on YouTube, and now we're gonna do another one. We'll see how we get on this time, and it looks like we are again about to start from the back of the grid. We'll see in a little second, but it does look like this field is quite competitive at the moment. We see Mohammed S. Patel in there, and I think that is an FSR driver as well, who was driving an FSR, the Ace Championship, because I remember commentating on his race win in Bahrain and several other race wins as well. But anyway, this is not RUF RT, this is not FSR, this is obviously iRacing. And as you can see here, starting from the back of the grid, and as we have seen before in the previous race, we will have a rolling start. So there was not really such a big difference, I think, in terms of my pace with this race and last race. I didn't really do much practice in between them. So we'll see how we get on. To be honest, my first race went pretty good, so pretty well. So I didn't really feel the need to put in a bit more practice. I just wanted to race again, have some good battles. As you can see here, while I'm driving, I'm unchecking or taking the tires and the refueling. So when I have damage, you know, and I need to pit, that I don't have to do this all again while I'm doing my in-lap and still more or less racing on the track. I'm sure you know what I mean. A little bit of a vague explanation, but as I said, I'm sure you know what I mean. So I do not really precisely know where we are starting. Probably about 18th, 19th, something like that. Maybe we'll have a look soon, and if not, we'll see it at the end of the race. We see another roof on my right hand side there. There's a McLaren alongside me and a BMW up front. So seems like I'm about the fifth car from behind. And we'll see how we get on then. So engine map still 2, so trying to save a little bit of fuel. We're gonna go to mix 1 soon, obviously, and then head down into the first corner. So getting my car ready now. As the pace car comes in, then the tension is building, obviously, right now. Here we go. The pace car is in. You see him there going into the pit lane as everyone slows down here. And now we should get on the throttle soon and see the green flag, which is right now. So the throttle is on, the race is on, and it's indeed P19 where we are starting. So here we go, heading down into the first corner. Behind this BMW, brake early, make sure you stay out of trouble. And there's a crash up front though. Oh, very, very hard on the brakes. Up top you can see there was some contact, but I do not feel any damage. And somehow managed to get out of there without damage, and quite quickly as well. I had to slam on the brakes, really. It was amazing how quickly the car actually the speed was decreasing. It was stunning, really. And well, it was about 1 centimeter, otherwise I would have hit the car in front of me as well, and probably pick up some damage. So that's a good start for us, really, even though it was a little bit of a shocking moment. And after that shocking moment, you need to calm down, reset your mind again into the race mode again, and try to attack the cars up front, which is right now a BMW. There's not BMW up front there, as this car leaves the door wide open. Car number 16 leaves the door wide open for this left-hander, but I decided to not take it at the moment. You know, these guys are still probably a little bit hot-headed after the start, so it's better to you know, settle down into the pace and into the flow, and then attack from there onwards. Maybe there are some more crashes which are going to happen soon, as the car number 16 went very wide on the apex there. I'm gonna take him there. You know, when you get an opportunity like that, even in an opening lap, obviously you should take it. But yeah, I usually do not really want to be as aggressive in the first lap as I would be in the later part of the race. And usually I would do that in iRacing, but I think I've said this is one of the previous video. I think I've started to grow up a little bit more in terms of that. As we see another crash indeed, so gained another place there. That is probably P10, is it? Probably P11. So the points paying position is right in front of us, I think then. Oh well, it would be an F1 obviously. And the top 10 is always nice. Here we go, having a look on the inside. Still braking a bit early though, but he went way too deep into that corner. Gonna have a good exit then, and in the end take him. That's always what you want to do. At least try to have a look down the inside. Sometimes it will catch out someone's attention, or yeah, you will make a mistake, as we've seen on the spin up there. So definitely in the top 10 now. And then he will make a mistake and you can get him on the exit of the corner. So what a start really in 2 laps time, from P19 to what should be P9, I think. And we see another train of cars in front of us, so it's not over yet. We can still climb a lot of places, obviously. Still a long race, 30 minutes in total. So half an hour long race and still 27 minutes to go at this moment. So breaking down then for this corner, very important corner as it leads onto the very long straight here. Got a better corner than the McLaren there up front. Pick up a little bit of slipstream over here, which is going to help me obviously. He will not pick up as much slipstream from the cars in front of him than I do on him. So we should be able to close down and down and down at the end of the straight here. So we brake at the 50-meter board. Go down to 3rd gear. And he leaves the door quite wide open there. Obviously then he cuts back to the apex. That's always the line you take into this first Ayrton Senna S corner. Get on the power then for the exit of turn 3. Very tricky to get on the power really of the when you are behind someone, as we see a battle up front. Sometimes it will spin the rear tires a little bit, where it becomes loose, wants to step out on you, and you get some oversteer. Sometimes catches you out. We have a nice battle here. The RUF, as we are in P7, RUF has to be then in P4. So 4th place, and we can even see the podium spot then with the BMW up front. That is amazing really, after 2 laps in 7th position, not bad at all. So we take a little bit of a different line here compared to the cars in front of us, just like the first video really. So I'm very close to hitting that McLaren. In the previous video you also saw that I sometimes took quite a different line compared to the cars around me. It seems like I'm doing that again this time too. So we go down the hill here through this left-hander. Yet again, this final corner is so important as I brake a bit too late. Well, not too late for my standards, but everyone around me seems to brake earlier than I do. Pretty much in every corner. And so it was the case there as well. So we have a little bit of pressure from behind as well. Car number 16 that is. Who's putting some more pressure on us. Car number 10 in front of us. This will do 132.3. So not the best pace in the world. But obviously we are also a little bit battling here within this train. And I do not think, as we get so overstay there, you can see it, a little bit of a correction with the wheel. I do not think that the RUF is capable of chasing down the final podium paying spot. So if we want to finish up on the podium, I think we need to do something really soon. But it is quite hard, obviously, with all these cars around us, as the McLaren went very deep on the exit of that corner. And now 2 McLarens are going to battle the McLaren in front of us. So car number 10 had to back out of it there. I'm going to be on the inside of car number 10 for this double apex right-hander. And up the hill then, taking that McLaren. So that is what you want to do. Always take every opportunity you get, and I got an opportunity there. He left the door wide open as he was on the attack of the white McLaren, who is now in front of us. Obviously, left the door wide open then, and there we go, taking that 6th position now. And once again, look at the different lines here. I'm preferring exit speed over here, as you can see, closing it right down, and even going for an inside move on this corner. He tries to stick it around the outside. He's still around the outside. Gonna have to leave him room as we enter the next corner. But I brake latest and managed to take the move. But because I was on the inside, it compromised my exit a little bit. So the McLaren has a good chance of getting back at me now. Down the main straight here. Here we go. It's right in my slipstream. We are then in 5th position with the RUF in front of us, but will the McLaren take us back? I'm gonna have to brake very late at the end of this straight here. I even go defensive for the first corner then, and the McLaren didn't really get it back in my slipstream. It stayed out of my slipstream as I go deep into this corner, but it's all, you know, in terms of defending, it's good because I had to brake late. You know, sometimes your opponent brakes even later than you do, and he gets back at you. But it didn't happen there. But yet again, because of the defensive line, I had a slow exit. McLaren's comes back at me down the inside, and he does a good job there. I thought he would overshoot the corner a little bit so I could get the cutback on him, but it didn't work. And now again we go on the inside here, but I'm too far back, so I'm gonna have to let that go. Ooh, almost touching the McLaren. That is allows the other McLaren to almost get past again. Luckily he couldn't do it, and yet again look at the different lines here. Very interesting to see, really. You see there I'm going a little bit deep, taking more of a V line, hitting the the apex early, go deep into the corner, then cut back to the apex and take another late apex. And the RUF then in 4th position as we dropped back to 6th position. Excuse me. Lap 5 then, 22 minutes to go. And can we see the BMW? Yes, you could just about see him there. Who is then in 3rd place. But the RUF doesn't really seem to be catching him. We can even see 2nd place there, entering the first turn on 32.8. Obviously that was a very defensive lap. So it doesn't surprise me that we are in the high 32s, but very close by the McLaren. Now it's going to be important here to get a good exit, get a good run on him. So we are in the slipstream. As you can see there, trying to not turn the wheel really that severely, otherwise you will get some oversteer. I'm picking up the slipstream from the RUF a little bit as well up front. Gives me a little bit of an advantage, but the McLaren goes defensive, trying then to go for the cutback, which I do here. But the McLaren defended nicely there, got early on the power, has to be said. Great defending stuff from him. And BMW up front, look at that. Managed to pass 2nd place, so it's now an RUF, I think, or an or a RUF, I should say, in 3rd place. As he must have made a mistake then. Look again at the different lines here. Going with later apex, taking more exit speed. Then again over here, switching back a little bit to the apex there. Didn't really do it that much that time. And again, they go more to the inside of the corner earlier than I do. I was a little bit too far of the apex there, so I lost a little bit of time. But it does look like both the McLaren and me are putting some more pressure now on this black RUF in front of us. And if I get the opportunity, I really need to take it here. Because we might even end up on the podium positions. Who knows what's going to happen. It might even be a back marker, that RUF, but we'll see. I'm not entirely sure. Should do another 32, low 32 this time, 32.1, so that's a little bit better, but still not in the 31s. Obviously we are still battling though, and I almost hit the McLaren, almost just crashed into him really from behind. And now we get some more oversteer. That's what I was talking about. So tricky sometimes to get on the throttle on the exit of the corner, and that allows the McLaren to go by us as we enter turn 4. But I think the McLaren has this position, so a little bit of a mistake as we see the McLaren up front making a pass on the black RUF. McLaren gets past, and now there's another McLaren on my left hand side, and he might even go around the outside of the next corner. But I do not think that's going to happen. Brake late here, so it doesn't happen. And both the McLaren and the black RUF are off the track. What amazing stuff that is. Now the McLaren again goes down the inside. Gonna have to leave him room then. I will have the inside line for the next corner, but the McLaren is already past. Bit of contact there. Oh, gonna have to be careful. Yeah, and I have to back out of it there. I had to back out of it there. The McLaren seemed quite aggressive, but to be honest and to be fair, it was his line. Made a little bit of contact, and then you should immediately try to cool yourself down. Even though you have lost now a couple of positions, 2 positions to be precise, thanks to that little oversteering moment I had. But at the same time, we obviously gained 2 places as well with the black RUF and the white McLaren. I think it was crashing out, so it's a little bit of a gain. But obviously, it's not great since we have lost quite a bit of time to the podium guys. As we see the McLaren. Or the McLaren's battling here as they enter turn 1. I'm gonna have to be smart here and take a wide sweeping line into this corner, get on the power then, and have a good run out of the corner, which I did not really get. See some more oversteer there too. No, did really get a good run out of that corner. I should have done a better job, otherwise I would have been right up close to the McLaren. Car number 4 it is. Couldn't do it though. Very good corner there, turn 4. Right behind the McLaren as he goes defensive then. I'm gonna have to go around the outside, which is probably not gonna happen, but we'll try it. Here we go. Oh, I'm trying to go on the outside here, and I'm still on the outside, This is actually pretty surprising. I will have the inside line for the next corner, and so after a couple of corners where we were side by side, I in the end take the position and I move myself up to P5. Going a little bit defensive for this corner. You saw me there staying a little bit in the middle of the track. And so the McLaren behind me had to decide whether he went to the outside or the inside, but it was a tricky decision for him because I stayed on the inside of the track. And so we are now up in P5, so not bad at all. Behind this McLaren who overtook us earlier, and he does seem to have a relatively good speed as he pulled away the last couple of corners really. 18 minutes to go, McLaren very close behind us. Here comes the McLaren behind us, car number, what is it, 4? Is it 4? I'm not sure, it might be. No, this is car number 10. But in the end he couldn't take me there. Skipping ahead a little bit, 4 minutes ahead to be a little bit more precise. Car number 4 then, that McLaren is still ahead of us as we catched up to the RUF. But I do think it's a back marker, still in P5 as well, doing low 32s. Best lap so far is a 31.9, so the pace isn't that impressive. It's the back marker here, it is indeed a back marker I think. And he is very much in the way, has to be said. He goes out of the way now though for the McLaren. I'll pick up a nice toe here down this little straight, entering turn 4. And he indeed lets us past, but it allowed me to close down the McLaren a little bit. So now is the time to attack as much as I can with 14 minutes to go in this race. The BMW up there, that's the final podium paying spot, but I do not see us taking that one otherwise, or I should say, what's the word here? Unless, there we go, unless he makes a mistake. Once again, taking a much slighter entry line for this corner, then I take another other line. I take another line compared to him, I should say. Sorry, got a bit messed up there. And yet again, a little bit of a different line than the McLaren. But one thing is sure, and that is that I'm on the attack. Bit of oversteer there. It's so easy to lose the rear end there. It goes downhill. The dynamics of the car are changing quite a bit throughout the corner. So it's very easy to lose control as I didn't have the best exit out of the last corner. So it's gonna set me back a little bit. So the McLaren will pull away a little bit. Although we now start to pick up the slipstream as the McLaren is going a bit defensive. It does look like our RUF has good straight line speed though. Again, breaking at the 15 meter board. And still behind this McLaren then. Car number 4. Taking a lot more curb than he does there. Again on the power then. Look at that oversteer though. And that cost me quite a few meters. And some slipstream as well. So we skip to lap 17 now. Opening up lap 17. I kept behind the McLaren even though I made a mistake. But I couldn't really do anything. I mean, I was pushing at my maximum right now. I really was. But I couldn't find a way along. I couldn't find a way past the McLaren. I sometimes got close, but never got close enough to go for an attacking maneuver, you know, down the inside or something else, you know, related to side-by-side racing. I feel like we are very, very similar paced, and thanks to that, I can stick with him. But that's it. I cannot take the next step and overtake him. But at the same time, the one thing which is positive, as I go off track, my first off track of the race, unfortunately. The one thing which is positive is look up ahead. There we see the BMW, and that is the podium position. So we have closed down that BMW, showing that our pace wasn't too bad. With 4 minutes to go, we might still see somewhat of an interesting battle, although the gap to that BMW is quite big. But it was big before, and we closed it down to what it is now. And maybe the BMW will feel a little bit of pressure and maybe make a mistake. And we might take advantage of that, who knows. Still though, right in the draft of the McLaren. And as I said, that's really it. I can't do much more than this. But we are running out of time. So if we want to finish in 4th here, we need to try to overtake him as soon as possible. But at the same time, we are catching the BMW at quite a nice rate as the McLaren goes way too deep into the corner though. This is going to be a good opportunity. This will be the opportunity I'm going to have to grab with both hands. On the exit of this corner, the McLaren goes to the inside. And look at the mirror! The McLaren spun himself round. P4. 4th position. I said it. I said it. You know, that little mistake from the McLaren. He looked so consistent that, you know, even the slightest mistake, I had to punish him. And I said it, I had to take the opportunity with both hands. I didn't really have to do a lot about it, of course. But, well, the McLaren under pressure there Wanted to have a good exit obviously out of turn 3, otherwise I would have overtaken him anyway, because I was in the slipstream, and then spun himself around. I'm sure he got some oversteer, couldn't correct it, and so that moves us up in 4th position. And now we're on the hunt for the final podium paying spot, which we can see right in front of us. But I don't know, the gap does look still quite big, or only 2.5 minutes, and I don't think that that will be enough, but it would be nice if it was enough to still catch up to him and perhaps overtake him. But I do think I need a mistake from the BMW in order to do that, and I doubt whether he is going to make a mistake. Yet again crossing the line, opening up lap 19. A little bit of a slow lap there, but that had to be expected with the McLaren spinning out as well. So I went way too deep into the Ayrton Senna S corner, cost me some time. It was 3 seconds to car number 6. I got some oversteer there as well. I think the tires are starting to give up a little bit, so I couldn't really do much more than that. And we see the finish right here. So in the end, it was 2.4 seconds to the BMW, so I did have the pace. But yeah, in the end, the race wasn't long enough to overtake him. So we finish in P4, but an incredible 21 seconds behind the race winner, Julian. So congratulations to him, and that was a very good performance then. And only 2/10 ahead of Ivo, so that must have been a good race. Here we see the results, indeed starting from P19 then. And in the end finishing P4 after what was a pretty crazy 2 laps. Those 2 laps were crucial though for the rest of my race. And very happy with that. My license got a little bit up, my iRating got up as well. So I was quite happy with that. In the end, 31.9 was my first lap, which is not the best lap ever. But well, it was okay enough, I guess, to finish up in P4. That's it for this race. And I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed it, I would appreciate a like. That's pretty much it. See you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.